Я не розумію.
Ну, какая разница, она есть и
Доброго дня.
Це можна
Світлана Васильівна, все вже вмикаєте?
Так, вже трансляція пішла, запис є, можете розпочинати. Дуже дякую.
Дякую. Доброго дня, шановні колеги. Сьогодні 29 вересня 2023 року, 10 година. Дозвольте розпочати засідання. Наказом ректора номер 400К від 28.07.2023 року у Сумському національному аграрному університеті утворено спеціалізовану вчену раду для прийняття до розгляду та проведення разової захисту дисертації. Люй Чжике на тему «Конструкція мультиплексного ПЛР-тесту на основі гену CT2 для ідентифікації сальмонелла та її ефектора, патогенності та імунітетів». Англійською мовою тема звучить так. Construction of multiplex PSL assay based of ST2 gen to identity Salmonella colorum and its effectors T in pathogenicity and immunity. На здобуття ступеня доктора філософії з галузі знань 21 ветеринарна медицина за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина. Склад ради. Голова ради Шкрамада Оксана Іванівна, доктор ветеринарних наук, професор, завідувач кафедри акушерства та хірургії Сумського національного аграрного університету. Це я. Рецензенти. Фотіна Ганна Анатоліївна, доктор ветеринарних наук, професор кафедри ветсанекспертизи, мікробіології, загігієни та безпеки якості продуктів тваринництва Сумського національного аграрного університету. Доброго дня, Ганна Анатоліївна.
Доброго дня, рада вас бачити.
Присутня. Рецензент наступний Довголоса Марія Валентиновна, кандидат ветеринарних наук, доцент кафедри терапії фармакології, клінічної діагностики та хімії Сумського НАУ. Будь ласка, присутня. Опоненти. Ушкала Валерій Олександрович, доктор ветеринарних наук, професор, кафедри епізотології, мікробіології і вірусології Національного університету біоресурсів і природокористування України.
Я присутній. Доброго дня.
Радимо вас бачити. Також присутні. Опонент. Вашій Євгенія Володимирівна, доктор ветеринарних наук, завідувач кафедри ветеринарної медицини та фармації Національного фармацевтичного університету.
Доброго ранку, присутня.
Доброго ранку, присутня. І так, здобувач наш також присутній. Люй Чжике, hello. Hello. Всі присутні. І так, прошу, шановні рецензенти та опоненти, отже, на підставі реєстраційної картки присутності присутні всі 5 членів спеціалізованої вченої ради. Кворум необхідний для засідання ми маємо і всі офіційні підстави для того, щоб розпочати засідання. Засідання спеціалізованої вченої ради оголошую відкритим. На порядку денному захист дисертації аспіранта денної форми навчання кафедри ветсанекспертизи, мікробіології, зоогієни та безпеки якості продуктів тваринництва Сумського національного аграрного університету Люй Чжике на здобуття ступеня доктора філософії з галузі знань 21 ветеринарна медицина за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина. Тема дисертації «Конструкція мультиплексного ПЛР-тесту на основі генності для ідентифікації сальмонелла колорум та її вектора, патогенності та імунітетів». Науковий керівник, доктор ветеринарних наук, професор кафедри ветсанекспертизи, мікробіології, зоогієни та безпеки якості продуктів тваринництва Сумського національного аграрного університету Березовський Андрій Володимирович. До спеціалізованої вченої ради надійшли такі документи. Заява щодо проведення атестації здобувача, копія першої сторінки паспорта громадянина Китайської Народної Республіки, копія диплома магістра, витяг з наказу про зарахування до аспірантури з досвідченим у встановленому порядку, академічна довідка про виконання відповідної освітньо-наукової програми, висновок наукового керівника, висновок про науково навісну теоретичні та практичні значення результатів дисертації, дисертація в друкованому та електронних виглядах, відбитки копій наукових публікацій, зарахованих за темою дисертації, засвідчені у встановленому порядку. Всі документи відповідають встановленим вимогам. Дисертація до захисту подається вперше. Хто за запропонований порядок денний, прошу голосувати. Хто за? Проти? Утримався? Немає. Пропозиція приймається. Дозвольте зачитати бібліографічні дані аспіранта. Основний зміст поданих здобувачем документів, їх відповідність встановленим вимогам та інформацію про здобувача. Люй Чжике, 20 червня 1989 року народження, громадянин Китайської Народної Республіки, освіта вища. Закінчив у 2018 році університет Шіхінці, Китайська Народна Республіка, за спеціальністю основи ветеринарної медицини. 1 жовтня 2019 року зарахований до аспірантури Сумського національного аграрного університету. Дисертація виконана на кафедрі експертизи мікробіології, з гігієни та безпеки якості продуктів тваринництва у Сумському національному аграрному університеті. Тема дисертації затверджена в останній редакції 1 травня 2023 року на засіданні вченої ради Сумського національного аграрного університету, протокол засідання номер 17. Аспірантуру закінчив 1 жовтня 2023 року. Сумського національного аграрного університету, Міністерства освіти і науки України. 10 травня 2023 року був проведений фаховий семінар з апробації дисертації на кафедрі експертизи мікробіології, з гігієни, безпеки і якості продуктів тваринництва зі спеціальності 211 ветеринарної медицини, на якому дисертацію було рекомендовано до розгляду на захист у разних спеціалізованій вченій раді. Основні положення дисертації викладені у 14 наукових працях. До них відносяться 3 статті у фахових виданнях України, 3 статті у науково-метричних базах Scopus та Web of Science, 9 доповідей на науково-практичних конференціях. Наукова публікації відповідають вимогам пункту 8.9 порядку присудження ступеня доктора філософії, скасування рішення разом спеціалізованої вченої ради вищої освіти, наукової установи про присудження ступеня доктора філософії постанови Кабміну 12 січня 2022 року номер 44. Головуючий, чи є питання у членів спеціалізованої вченої ради? Питання відсутні. Із здобувачів погоджено, що захист дисертації буде відбуватись англійською мовою. Для викладу основних результатів дослідження слово надається аспіранту Люй Чжике. Люй Чжике, to present main results of the research, the word is given to graduate student Люй Чжике. Люй Чжике, start with your presentation.
Okay. Good morning, distinguished professor and teacher. Thank you for attending the synthesis activities. I'm Luy Chжике. My supervisor, Tatiana Fortina. The title of my thesis is Construction of Multiplexing PCR assay based on the CRT2, joining to identity cell manipulation and its effector STE in pathogenicity and immunity. I chose this title as my topical due to the following reasons. The manila is an important host-specific passage that causes one diarrhea with high mortality rates in chicks within 3 weeks old. Infected adults without several clinical symptoms and can be transmitted vertically through the organ. The kind effect measures to the prevention and control of the salmonella proteome that lead to eliminate the disease chickens with suspected salmonella proteome. This is still a lack of delicate epidemiological state of salmonella proteome, which is the first step of formulating effective control strategies. Salmonella proteome infected chickens shows a range of symptoms, including depression and wild diarrhea. Especially there was a large number of necrotic spots on the surface of the liver. Persist. Salmonella infection established an infectious pharmaceutical state by regulating host inflammatory response. More and more, evidence shows that salmonella can escape the host immune system. One special effector, HE as an anti-inflammatory effector is involved to the system infection of salmonella. However, a repeat and accurate method is urgently needed to identify salmonella proteome, the mechanism which HE regulates the inflammatory response and enhances the persistent infection of salmonella proteome remains elusive. Parts of the dissertation are from National Agricultural University scientific research works as the following. I hope by studying this topic will establish a multiplexed PCR approach for the early diagnosis of salmonella proteome in clinical samples and classify the roles of salmonella proteome effector, STE in pathogenicity and immunity, as well as the mechanism by which STE regulates host inflammatory response. To confirm the passage of the disease chickens with suspect salmonella proteome. To establish a multiplex PCR method for the accurate and repeated detection of salmonella proteome. To study the effect of the association of the effector STE with salmonella proteome varies in HB1 cells and chickens. To evaluate the role of STE in salmonella proteome, reduce immune balance and classify the molecular mechanism of persistent salmonella proteome in function in HB1 cells and chickens. Next, this is an outline of my dissertation, which mainly consists of 4 parts: isolation, detection, virus, and immunity. This is the subject and method of my research. The dissertation was performed in the following laboratory. My topic mainly consists of several research sections. 1. Isolation, identification, and drug resistance analysis of salmonella proteome, multi-PCR, also based on CRTE2 joining and intragenic sequence for the repeated detection of salmonella proteome. 3. Construction and characterization of STE deletion method of salmonella proteome and its complementary strain. 4. STE enhances the colonization of salmonella proteome in chickens. STE enhances the values of salmonella proteome in chicken by regulating the inflammation response. 6. STE regulate Q1-Q2 cytokine expression in chickens during salmonella proteome infection. Last, salmonella proteome effectors STE regulatory Q1-Q2 cytokine expression by triggering the ST83 SOCS3 +1 that suppresses AFRV activation. My paper result consists of 7 parts. The first part, the bacteria on XLD medium was picked all with black data. SS medium was transparent or smells chlorinated. Under the microscopy, the bacteria was red and straight rod shaped. Glucose, amino acid, decarboxylase, tartrate, and MR test was positive. VP and OPG test was negative. The surface of the liver have smell gray military narcotic forces. The heart round appearance and punctured hemorrhage. The body was swollen and congested. The sleeve was swollen, necrotic, and brittle. The cecum was swollen and bleeding spots. The bladder was swollen with bleeding coins. The umbilical regions of the adulatory bacteria was 1114 3BP, was the negative control did not have the special form. The isolated salmonella proteome was severely resistant to amacacillin, self-forming, but sensitive to ceftriaxone and ceftriaxone. The second part. The specific primer from the CRT2 journey was designed for salmonella proteome, and the intergenic sequence primer was designed as a salmonella molecular marker. The fragment series of multiplex PCR was target series for salmonella proteome of salmonella enteritidis. The electrophoretic bonds was relatively broad and had no significant difference. The optimal condition of multiplex PCR were as following: annualizing temperature of 16 degrees and reduce to price of primer of 1:1. The result shows that the amplified fragments of target series were obtained from salmonella proteome and salmonella enteritidis. The amplified regions of salmonella proteome was obtained, and the post series of salmonella enteritidis were obtained. The target series fragments were clearly generated for salmonella proteome, and two bonds with target were observed for other salmonella. The multiplex PCR shows accelerated specificity for the detection of salmonella proteome and no salmonella. The detection limit of the PCR method could reach at least 6.25 pico-macrolitri genetic DNA. Results show that the proposed fragment, as low as CFU reaction, was still detected. At the table, our method showed a sensitivity that was compatible with the early reported data for the detection of salmonella proteome. The limit of detection of the multiplex PCR also in egg were historic. CFU milliliter after 2-hour enrichment. CFU milliliter after 6-hour enrichment, and T01 CFU milliliter after 3 hours and 12 hours enrichment, respectively. Results indicated that the multiplex PCR was experimentally sufficient for the detection of salmonella proteome and salmonella enteritidis. The 1699 bacterial samples amplified to expected bonds for salmonella proteome, and no PCR product was observed for 3 negative samples. The third part. ST is the second open reading frame located in the FT1 in salmonella chromosomal DNA. A schematic diagram depicting the delivery strategy for the STE delivery 3 generation using lambda zeta recombination system. The fragment series of 1566 7pp was obtained from PKD 46. The WT or STE delivery Hanamasi visitors was very fast. The WT or STE delivery 3 was very fast. The WT and the STE delivery 3 have a radius of 89 pp or 683 pp per pizza. This result indicates that the complementary 3 was successfully constructed. The Gauss curve analysis revealed the now significant difference among the WT ST delivery and complementary 3 cultures in LB brass at the different time points at the 3 degrees. To evaluate the effective of STE for terminal invalidation. The result shows a large number of terminal proteins within the HT11 cells were observed in WT or complementary 3 effective group compared to that of the cells effective with the STE delivery 3. The fourth part. The media leading dose of STE delivery 3 was 22.8 times higher than that of WT3. The pathological change of Chiki organs affected with WT3 were more serious than that of the STE delivery 3 and the control groups as the following. They were dark red needle tips and larger blooding spots at the edge of the liver, the sphenometrally brachial enlargement. This figure shows STE caused significantly increase the colonization of salmonella proteome in a Chiki infection model, increased the artifacts, and they decreased. For example, the cecum, liver, and spleen, and so on. The fixed part. The STE delivery 3 had no significant effect on the salmonella proteome and his to HD11 cells. However, the inhibitory ability of STE delivery 3 was significantly reduced compared to that of the WT3. This result indicated that the delivery of STE reduced the proliferative abilities of salmonella proteome after 3, 15, and 20 hours in vivo. The mRNA level of SRPA, SRPC, and the PRPH was significantly decreased in cells infected with the WT compared to the STE delivery 3 infected cells at 3 and 8 HPR, but no significant difference was observed at 16 HPR. The MI respiratory levels of SSPH2, SSEG, STEA, and STEB were significantly decreased in cells infected with WT compared to those in the STE delivery 3 infected cells at 3 and 8 HPR, and a significant decrease was detected in SRFB and PRPB, MI levels 3 at 8 HPR. Delivery of ST significantly reduced the linear apoptosis in HD11 cells as compared to WT3, although no significant difference was detected for early apoptosis. To investigate the effect of STE on the immune response in vitro, the expression level of several cytokines was examined using HD11 effective with WT and STE deletion stringing via qRT-PCR. These results illustrated the anti-inflammatory effects of STE in HD11 cells effected with salmonella procedure. To investigate interleukin expression was significantly higher in the STE deletion. Three groups resulted in the WT. Three groups under free DPR, but no difference was detected in ROAS production between the two groups at 1, 3, and 7 DPR. The completion index were less than 1, indicating that the deletion of STE reduced the colonization sustainability and the fitness of salmonella proteome. The deletion of STE caused significant attenuation of salmonella proteome variants. STE weak past or genital disease in the liver and spleen. The sixth part can part with those of the WP or complementary mutation. 3 affected groups the MI livers of interleukin 12 and the RF gamma were significantly higher, whereas the interleukin MI expression was significantly decreased in the STE deletion suite effective liver and bladder. STE increased the anti-inflammatory response induced by strong full immunity response. Luy Chjuke effective with salmonella proteome. The last part. These results also suggest that STE regulated the MI levels of TH1, TH2 related cytokine in some protein affected HD11 cells. The STE enhanced the MI of SOCS3 in the salmonella proteome affected HD11 cells. SOCS3 overexpression in HD11 cells significantly decreased RF gamma interleukin 12 MI liver, but increases interleukin MI liver, whereas interleukin 4 MI liver did not significantly differentiate. This data demonstrates that SOCS3 was overloaded in regulating the balance of TH1, TH2 related cytokine in HD11 cells induced by STE. ST83 MI levels and protein were significantly lower in the STE deletion affected HD11 than in the WT or complementary 3 affected HD11 cells at 1, 2, 3, and 4 hours. This result shows that STE promoted SOCS3 expression by activating ST83. So, evaluate the efficiency of ST classification. SAT3, M1, and protein liver were determined using qRT-PCR and white blood assay. This data shows that STA promoted SOCS expression by activating ST83. Finally, we determined whether STA enhances the expression of ST83 and SOCS3 in CNE of Chike. ST80 mRNA and protein levels were obviously lower in the STA deletion affected Chike than in the WT or complementary strain affected Chike. We further evaluated whether STA inhibited P65 expression during cell manufacturing manufacturing. The qRT-PCR and Western blotting shows that the STA can significantly upregulate the P65 mRNA and the protein levels. Similar to the results observed in the immunogenicity assay. These results suggest that STA reduced AFKB 16.5 expression at both mRNA and protein levels in HB11. STA overexpression in HB11 cells significantly decreased the RFB gamma and the interleukin 12 mRNA levels are increased the interleukin 4 and the interleukin 3 mRNA level. In addition, P65 mRNA and the protein levels were still lower in STA overexpression HB11 cells. We evaluated the P65 expression in cell manufacturing effective Chike using qRT-PCR and Western blotting process. P65 mRNA and the protein levels were significantly higher in the STA deletion stress affected Chike than in the WT or complementation stress affected Chike. Similar to the results observed in the immunohistochemical assay. To assay whether STA affected the expression of P65 by targeting SOCS3, P65 mRNA liver, and the P65 protein was determined in STA SOCS3 overexpression HB11 cells. P65 mRNA and protein levels were lower in HB11 trafficked with overexpression STA or SOCS3. Furthermore, P65 mRNA and protein levels were notably lower in HB11 cells trafficked with the STA overexpression primarily and SR80 growth. Cell manufacturing way STA is a process effectively regulated the expression of TH1, TH2 cytokines, which leads to the ST83 SOCS3 activity, thereby inhibiting AFKB P65 phosphorylation in absence of STE. Cell manufacturing infection causes the activation of AFKB P65, which drives TH1 related cytokines expression, and they inhibits TH2 related cytokines expression. Last, concluding. One, the isolated cell manufacturing was the main pathogenic factor of the disease, the Chike, that was sensitive to receptor axis, receptor alpha, and canamaphy, and has a 30 application viable for the prevention and the treatment of cell manufacturing. The multiplexy PCR was a highly efficient and practical method to distinguish the cell manufacturing of natural chicken and Anna swab and egg samples artificially contaminated with salmonella proteome and salmonella impurity. 3. FTE was required for salmonella proteome visit and proliferation and increased data. Apoptosis of HD11 cells in salmonella proteome infection and the ratio of FTE significantly decreased cognition, pathological disease, violence, and long-term survival of salmonella proteome in chickens and HDL11 cells by regulating the inflammation response. FTE increased the anti-inflammation response and regulated TH1, TH2 related cytokine expression by modulating the HPA3, SOCS3, and AF copy axis that may be associated with the TH1, TH2 cell deposition in HD11 cells and chicken during salmonella proteome infection. These are the meeting I attended and the certificates I obtained. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Доповідь завершена. Прошу задавати питання. The report is complete. Please ask question. Chairperson, please. Hanna Fortuna. Your questions, please.
Okay, thank you so much for this such a wonderful presentation. And my question is, did you conduct your studies in Ukraine? And if so, which ones?
Okay. Thank you for the question. Let me answer them. I studied in Ukraine from September 2019 to September 2020. In the first semester, I finished my coursework, mainly include philosophy, economics, statistics, English, and literature review. I passed the examination, which was important. The second semester mainly focused on the study of professional courses and performed the research direction of doctoral dissertation. I published a conference paper during this period. That's all.
Okay, thank you so much for your answer. And I have one more question about your results. Do your results have an impact on production? So can you apply it? Are they applicable in practice? So.
Okay. Thank you for the question. Let me answer them. Based on the result of theoretical and experimental studies provide a scientific reference for the prevention and accurate detection of salmonella proteome in chicken formers. The development multiplexed pizza system had sensitivity and specificity could be a viable tool for the clinical diagnosis of salmonella proteome, which is an important pathology in chicken. In addition, STE was associated with the persistent infection of salmonella proteome, which modulated TG1, TG2 related immune response by STAT3, SOCS3, and AF axis, and could be a unique drug candidate for targeting salmonella losses. That's all.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hanna Anatolyevna, you satisfied with the answer?
Yes, I am. So everything is good.
Thank you. Please, Irina Valentinovna, the application answer the questions.
I have two questions. First questions. Please clarify how the corpus of laboratory animals were disposed of after research. Please.
Okay. Thank you for the question. Let me answer. After research, the corpus of laboratory animals will be uniformly placed in plastic box and then transported by transferring particles from the experimental animal status of Henan Institute of Science and Technology to the designated animal disposal site. After that will be completed and thoroughly inactivated through the incineration treatment method. That's all. Okay, that's it.
Yes, thank you. Second questions. Take into account your scientific research and the result on the process literary source. Describe the experience of using an accurate detection of the Salmonella clone.
Okay. Thank you for the interesting question. Let me answer. The accurate detection of Salmonella proteome should have good stability, sensitivity, strong specificity, and reduce the problems of atypical stress or false negative results. The PCR technique has been successfully established for fast and reliable diagnosis of different pathogeny, including fastidious bacteria. A repeat one-step PCR system could be used to accurately screen for the presence of Salmonella proteome. Support traditional stereotyping method, particularly under massive screening situations. Okay, that's all.
Thank you. Are you satisfied with the answer?
Yes, I'm satisfied.
Thank you. Please, Valery Alexandrovich.
Thank you. Please tell me why you focused on this pathogenous Salmonella pylori in your work.
Okay.
And let me know, do you plan to conduct for further research on the Salmonella species in future? Thank you.
Okay. 21. Thank you for the interesting question. Let me answer that. Although there are more than 2,600 Salmonella cerebrus, most animal infections and caused by relatively few several days. Salmonella proteome can cause the proteome disease, which is a serious systemic disease with higher mortality, especially in young birds. Adult chickens can be infected without showing clinical symptoms and can become carriers of Salmonella proteome. Although Salmonella proteome has been largely eliminated in some developed countries, it is still common in developed countries such as China, which it causes serious economic losses to the poultry industry. Thus, timely detection and cripple the pathogenic mechanism of Salmonella proteome are very important for the purification of the Salmonella proteome with the chicken farmers. So, Salmonella should attract our widespread attention. Two questions. Thank you for the question. Let me answer that. Salmonella is gram-negative. facultative, anaerobe, and intracellular parasitic in both humans and animals. Infectious by salmonella is a major public health problem, causing an established 93.8 million illnesses and 155 foreign deaths each year worldwide. Although salmonella proteome, especially if it infects poultry, leading to a heart disease and mortality rate in chickens and chickens. It does not affect the human. Unlike salmonella enteritis, it has also been reported that salmonella proteome is incarnate to induce a peaceful limited response. Salmonella enteritis is the second most common cause of bacterial gastroenteritis in the developed world, and results in significant economic loss to the poultry industry and place a subsidization body on the healthcare system. Salmonella enteritis is an important pathogen with a public concern. Thus, the main fire study saw the majority of basic research in salmonella enteritis field prefer to use a research model to studying host microbiome interaction. Okay, that's all, Professor.
Thank you. Валерий Alexandrovich, are you satisfied with you?
Yes, I am statistician. Statistician field. Thank you.
Thank you. Next opponents, please. Evgenia Vladimirovna, your questions, please.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for your good and interesting report and presentation. And I have some question for you. Tell me, please, how serious is the problem of poultry salmonellosis in China? And how often are cases of human salmonella infections through food products reported in China? And the next question, what are the methods of combating and preventing poultry salmonellosis in China? Thank you.
Okay. One question. Thank you for the interesting question. Let me answer that. The probability of salmonella being isolated in laboratory tests for bacterial infectious disease has a journey in chicken has significantly increased, accounting for about 58% of the total number of cases in China. However, in the 1990s, salmonella cases only accounted for about 5% of bacterial cases. The prevalence of poultry salmonellosis in chicken farms in approximately 5 to 7% in China. The contamination rate of salmonella in chicken is generally greater than 10% and up to 18%. The survival conducted by the China National Food Safety Risk Assessment Center on the level of salmonella contamination in commercially available raw chicken shows that approximately 14% of retail raw chicken is contaminated with salmonella in China. Due to the widespread use and even abuse of antibiotics, the clinical practice, the problem of resistance of salmonella is becoming increasingly serious year by year in China. And the emergence of drug-resistant bacteria, especially multi-resistant bacteria, increases not only the difficult of clinical treatment, but not the cost of treatment. So it poses a serious threat to China's socio-economic and public health safety. 2 questions. Thank you for this question. Let me answer this question. In China, salmonella account for approximately 17 to 18% of food-borne disease caused by bacteria. Salmonella is a digestive trade infectious disease transmitted orally. According to statistics from the China Center for Disease Control and Prevention, there are about 95 million cases of gastroenteritis caused by salmonella. With over 50 studies, the immunogenicity of salmonella infection is about 19 million %, and the annual incidence rate of salmonella is 245 over stored in China. So there are many reports of food infections caused by salmonella in China. 3 questions. Thank you for this question. Let me answer. In China, the prevention and control measures for salmonellosis in chickens mainly include the following methods. Seriously implemented comprehensive measures for veterinary hygiene, prevention and control, and do a good job in prevention and purification work. 2. With salmonella losses occurs in chicken, antibiotics with the hatch sensitively are selected for drug treatment based on the result of drug sensitivity experiment. Multiple drugs should be used in combination or alternately. Vaccines are an effective method for preventing disease and are also primarily used in clinical practice. Chinese herbal medicine has good potential for antibiotics. Substitution useful is probiotic efforts and pharmacological efforts using probiotics to provide drinking water and health care for chicken can effectively prevent the occurrence of salmonellosis chicken in summer. Based on the epidemic characteristics of salmonella in chicken, comprehensive prevention and treatment measures should be taken to control and prevention the occurrence of this disease. Okay, that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you satisfied with Evgenia Vladimirovna?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Якщо немає більше запитань, дякую. No more questions? Thank you. Дозвольте мені ознайомити присутніх з висновком про наукову новизну, теоретичне та практичне значення результатів дисертації. Let me present the conclusion about the scientific knowledge, theoretical and practical signification of the results of the thesis. Дисертаційна робота Люй Чжике на тему конструкції мультиплексного шпілер-тесту на основі гену січі 2 для ідентифікації сальмонелла куру та її фактора патогенності та імунітетів. Відповідає вимогам наказу МОН України номер 40 від 12.01.2017 року про затвердження вимог до оформлення дисертації та порядку присудження ступені доктора філософії, скасування рішення разом спеціалізованої ради закладів вищої освіти наукової установи про присудження доктора ступені філософії, постанова Кабмін від 12 січня 2022 року, номер 44, відповідає спеціальності 211 ветеринарна медицина. Далі розпочинаємо обговорення дисертаційної роботи Люй Чжике. We begin the discussion of the dissertation work by Люй Чжике. Doctor of Veterinary Science, Professor Fotina Hanna Anatolievna, please, to speech.
Okay, thank you so much for the chance to be recensent of this work. And yes, I read this, and I want to say some words, and I want to read my response now. So first, it's the relevance of the topic. And I would like to say that, yes, zoonotic diseases continue to be a threat to human health, leading to significant economic losses every year. And among zoonoses, salmonellosis remains one of the most urgent problems of infection pathology for the field of vet medicine, and has sanitary, epidemiological, and socio-economic significance. As a system of monitoring zoonotic pathogens in the UA countries function taking into account the concept of One Health. The monitoring results are a scientific basis for adjusting measures to control the spread of pathogens. The above confirms that the dissertation work is devoted to an exemplary urgent problem today, the development of methods for detection of Salmonella pylorum and the elucidation of the mechanism of persistent Salmonella pylorum infection in chickens, which causes significant economic losses for poultry farms. So, the results of researches were reported and approved at the annual scientific seminars and conferences of the teaching staff and postgraduate students of the Suman National Agrarian University, of the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, and they were represented in China as well. According to the results of research, 14 scientific papers were published, including 3 articles in professional editions of Ukraine, 2 articles in Web of Science, a Scopus scientific metric publication, and 2 abstracts of reports at scientific and practical international conferences. The materials of the dissertation work were obtained within the framework of comprehensive scientific research of the Department of Veterinary Expertises, Microbiology, Zoohygiene, and Safety and Quality of Animal Husbandry Products of the Suman National Agrarian University, according to the following thematic plans of research work: system of monitoring methods, control and veterinary sanitary measures regarding the quality and safety of livestock products for diseases of infection etiology. Also, scientific research was carried out in accordance with the research's direction of the National Natural Science Foundation of China, Henan Joint Fund, its grant, and the K Scientific Initial Program of Henan Province grants as well. And Suman National Agrarian University and Henan University of Science and Technology within the framework of scientific programs of research work. The aim of the study was to isolate Salmonella pylorum from sick chickens with suspected pylorosis and to determine resistance to antimicrobial drugs, as well as to develop a multiplex PCR for early diagnosis of Salmonella pylorum in clinical samples. As a study of the role of the Salmonella pylorum's T effector is pathogenicity and immunity, as well as the mechanism of TE regulation of the development of the inflammatory process. And to achieve the main goal of the study, it was necessary to solve a number of interrelated tasks. For example, isolate Salmonella pylorum from sick chickens and determine the antibiotic profile, and analysis of the association of the TCSS2 effectors TE with the virulence of Salmonella pylorum. Within the scope of dissertation research, the author isolated Salmonella pylorum cultures that were resistant to amoxicillin, tetracycline, and iprofloxacin, but sensitive to ceftriaxone, ceftiofur, and kanamycin. They also established that the CYP2 gene is specific for Salmonella pylori, and using the CYP2 and SPS4, I will not read all these numbers, genes, a multiplex PCR was developed, the sensitivity of which was 6.25. So the effectiveness of the proposed diagnostic was confirmed in an experimental with artificially contaminated Salmonella pylori, Salmonella X, and 69 samples of anal swabs. The main provisions of the PhD thesis were included in the guidelines according to the prevention and detection of Salmonella and the mechanism via which CE inhibits the host inflammatory response. And based on the materials of the dissertation, methodological recommendations, construction of multiplex PCR assay based on the CYP gene to identify Salmonella pylori and its effectors TE in pathogenicity and immunity. And the doctoral student proposed an efficient method of multiplex PCR based on the CYP2 gene and intergenic sequence SPS4, which was created for accurate detection of Salmonella pylori in clinical and food samples. The developed multiplex PCR system had high sensitivity and specificity and could be evaluable for the clinical diagnosis of Salmonella pylori, which is an important pathogen in chickens. The theoretical developments of the OSA can be implemented in production to establish the production of a diagnostic test system and are also essential for the improvement of measures to combat salmonellosis in chickens. In general, positively evaluating the work of the dissertation researchers, Jacques Liu, I consider it possible to unique about the author's opinion regarding the results presented in the dissertation work, namely, do you think it is possible to use the deletion strains you obtain to create vaccines against pylorosis? Are mutant strains used at all for the production of vaccines, in particular against salmonellosis? And in what cases it is possible to use the deletion mutants for the production of vaccines? And the dissertation is set out on 133 pages of computer text. It consists of an annotation, introduction for chapters, conclusions, a list of sources used, and 2 annexes. The main body of the dissertation contains 7 tables, 45 figures. The list of references included the name of 294 sources. And regarding the compliance of the dissertation with the established requirements, the content of Jacques Liu's scientific researches corresponds to the specialty 211, veterinary medicine. The work was performed at the appropriate level and meets the requirements for the preparation of the dissertation and the procedure for awarding the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy approved by the resolution of the Cabinet Ministry of Ukraine, and significance for science and practice of the results obtained by the author of the dissertation and ways of their use. Thus, the dissertation shows that with the help of bacteriological studies, the determination of the antibiotic profile and the use of the multiplex PCR system proposed by the author, it is possible to significantly improve the effectiveness of the anti-epizootic measures, identify the source of the pathogen, and control the spread of resistant Salmonella clones in chicken flocks. In addition, the author confirmed the role of STE in the pathogenesis of Salmonella pylori infection. and the obtained data are essential for improving measures to combat salmonellosis in chickens. This dissertation students mastered modern research methods, which include bacteriological, molecular, genetic, immunological, and statistical methods. And as conclusion, I would like to say the dissertation of Jacques Liu, construction of multiplex PCR assay based on the CID-E2 gene to identify Salmonella pylori and its effectors TE in pathogenicity and immunity, which was submitted for obtaining the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy to the one-time special council at the Sumy National Agrarian University, issued in accordance with the order of the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine, dated January 12, 2017, on approval of requirements for dissertation, and the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine, dated May 31, with changes and additions in terms of relevant scientific novelty and practical significance of the obtained results. It fully meets the requirements stipulated as a procedure for awarding the degree of Doctor of Philosophy approved by the resolution of the Cabinet of Ministry dated 12/0.1 2022 number 44, and it's also deserves the award of the educational and scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field of knowledge 21 veterinary medicine in the specialty 211 veterinary medicine. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Luy Chжике, given the opportunity to respond to contents that have been posted in the reviewer's review. Luy Chžiке, please. Answer the questions.
Which question?
Okay, you had my response. Yes, I sent it to you. And in this response, you had some questions. And can you answer, please? Do you remember? Do you have my? Do
Okay.
you have?
Okay. Okay. Question one. Thank you for the question. Let me answer them. We constructed a road salmonella STE election 3. The data demonstrated that the road must have a very good safety profile and strongly. And it started both humoral and cellular immune response. The deletion space could provide efficient protection for the 60 mark salmonella infection. Overall, these results have demonstrated that the road smart 3 can be developed as an efficient liver attenuated versus candidate against problem in poultry. Good question. Thank you for this question. Let me answer. The result of this experiment was based on the statistical required of the research paper, which was investigated the feasibility of market tree as a liver attenuated oral versus chicken by evaluating various cheese in body weight and clinical symptoms, bacterial persistence, immune response, and pop-active efficacy. If it were used for vaccine production, a large number of chicken samples and experimental data were required to evaluate the safety performance and immune performance of the market strain. Only after obtaining the national versus production batch number, and then can be used for vaccine production and clinical disease prevention. Last question. Thank you for the question. Let me answer that. Long-term hatch liver infection and antibiotic abusing in chicken have led to the emergency of multi-drug resistant strain and making it more difficult to control salmonella. The deletion treats as a candidate liver kid versus is the best way to control and prevent salmonella infection. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ханна Анатольевна. Анна Анатольевна, меня слышите?
Так.
Я так зрозуміла, що ви вже закінчили, так? Бо у нас
Так.
трошки. Добре, дякую. Ханна Анатольевна, you answer the questions.
Так, все добре, там він відповів, все, я довольна.
Are you satisfied?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. Next, you please speech Рима Валентиновна.
Thank you. Actually, reviewer Vanosova Rima Valentinovna, doctor of veterinary medicine, associate professor for GKLU, dissertation work, construction of multiplex PCR assay based on the CTA2 DNA2 identity Salmonella chlore and its effector CTA in pathogenicity and immunity. This was submitted for obtaining the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy at the on-time special consul at Sumy National Agrarian University, branch of College 21 Veterinary Medicine, specialty 211 Veterinary Medicine. So, along with the positive evolution of GKLU, this dissertation, it can be noted that some statements are debatable and need to be revised. So first, after table 2.2 is possible to describe not only the conditions of the research, but also to describe here results. Second, in section 3.1, after the figures and tables, you start new research subsection. You need to describe your results. This will help is to understand the material present more quickly. Next. The conclusion in chapter 3.1 need to expand it. You have more results than what you described. Form. Figure 3.16 anatomical symptoms of chickens infected with WT and SCTA stings need to be described in more detail. And 5. 3.7.8 conclusion in chapter 3.8 indicated the correct chapter. Expand your conclusion on the chapter. So, this started debate provision and certain should comment do not significantly affect the overall positive experiment on their dissertation work. Thank you.
Thank you, Irina Валентиновна, to speech. Я запрошую до слова наступного сьогодні присутнього. Це у нас опонент. Я запрошую до виступу опонента. I initiate and an official opponent to speak, Doctor of Veterinary Science, Professor Ушкало Валерий Александрович. Валерий Александрович, to speak, please.
Thank you. Так, response the official opponent of Jacques Louis dissertation work on construction of multiplex special algae based of the to gen to identify the Salmonella pullorum and the effector STA in pathogenicity and immunity, which was submitted for obtain the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy at the one-time special consul of Sumy National Agrarian University branch of knowledge 21 veterinary medicine, specialty 211 veterinary medicine. The theoretical development of the author can be implemented in production. To establish the production of a diagnostic test system and also essential for the improvement of measures to combat salmonellosis in chicken. In general, positively evaluating the work of the dissertation researcher Jacques Louis, I consider it possible to inquire about the author opinion regarding the result presented in the dissertation work. Namely, 1. Do you think it's possible to use the deletion strains you obtain to create vaccine against pullosis? 2. Mutant strains used as all for the production of vaccine, in particular against salmonellosis. 3. In what case is possible to use deletion mutant for the production of the vaccine? Thank you.
Thank you, Валерий Александрович. Люй Чжике, are you given the opportunity to respond to contents that have been posted in the reviewer's review, please?
Okay. Thank you for the question. Let me answer them. 1. Question. We constructed a those Salmonella proteome STE deletion string. The data demonstrated that the those mutated had a very good safety profile and strongly relaxated both humoral and cellular immune response. The deletion string could provide efficient protection for the system Salmonella proteome infection. Overall, this result have demonstrated that the those mutated strain can be developed as an efficient liver annuated virus candidate against the protein in poultry. Good question. Thank you for this question. Let me answer this question. The result of this experiment are based on the statistical requirement of the research paper, which was investigated the feasibility of mutated strain as a liver attenuated oral virus in chicken by evaluated virus change in body weight and clinical symptoms, bacterial persistence, immune response, and protective efficiency if it was used for vaccine production. A large number of chicken samples and experimental data was required to evaluate the safety performance and immune performance of the market strain. Only after obtaining the national vaccine production batch number, and they can be used for vaccine production and clinical disease prevention. 3 questions. Thank you for this question. Let me answer this question. Long-term heart liver infection and antibiotics abuse in chicken have led to the emergence of multi-drug resistant strains and making it more difficult to control salmonella. Additionally, multi-strain are the competitive attenuated virus. It is the best way to control and prevent salmonella infection. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Люй Чжике. Are you satisfied, Валерий Александрович?
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. Переходимо до наступного опонента. Слово надається офіційному опоненту. I invite an official opponent to speak. Professor Євгенія Володимирівна, to speak, please.
Thank you. I want to say thank you for your inviting to me as official opponent of this scientific work of Люй Чжике, and have some words of my response. Response of the official opponent of the PhD thesis Люй Чжике on the topic construction of multiplex PCR assay based on the SID-E2 gene to identify Salmonella purulum and its effectors TE in pathogenicity and immunity, submitted for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field of knowledge 21 veterinary medicine in the specially 211 veterinary medicine. In my opinion, this scientific work has scientific novelty and practical significance. The conclusions and proposal for the production of dissertation work are fully substantiated and correspond to the obtained results of own research. Scientific novelty of the obtained result is that the proposed method is the first multiplex PCR method based on the SID-E2 gene, and the integrated sequence of SPS4 was established for the accurate detection of Salmonella purulum in clinical and food samples, confirmed the pathogenicity associated with STE in Salmonella purulum. Scientific propositions, conclusions, and proposals are formulated accordingly in the dissertation. They are justified and are logical continuation of obtained result of experimental research. Evaluating positively Люй Чжике PhD thesis on the topic construction of multiplex PCR assay based on the SID-E2 gene to identify Salmonella purulum and its effector STE in pathogenicity and immunity, I would like to make certain short comments and get answer to some questions. The first, not all terms in Latin in the text of dissertation are in italics. The second, in our opinion, in the content of dissertation in chapter 2, materials and method, it is not necessary to allocate a list of all types of research into subparagraphs. The third, are there any futures of using your proposed diagnostic method? Are there cases of condition under which a false result is possible? And the fourth question, do you have a perspective plan to develop attenuated Salmonella purulum vaccine? The above comments do not reduce the positive assessment of the PhD thesis because they do not relate the essence of dissertation work and do not reflect on conclusions and proposal for production. And the question posed clarifying and debated. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, Vicky, answer the question.
Okay. Thank you for the question. Let me answer them. One question. I have corrected it in the text of the dissertation for all terms. Two questions. Thank you for the question. Let me answer. I have read this section in the materials and the method in chapter 2 according to your comment. 3 questions. Thank you for this question. Let me answer. The developed PCR method will help save the time spent in single cloning, formation, and cell type identification. This newly developed PCR-based system could be used to accurately screen for the presence of salmonella parasitism and support traditional serotyping method, especially in test clinical samples. Thank you for the question. Let me answer. The CRT2 journey and interval sequence is insisted in all salmonella serivus by genomic comparison. Copies of spatial primers designated from CRT2 and interval sequence were used to establish the multiplexed PCR system, which can solve the false result for the accurate detection of salmonella protozoa. The developed multiplexed PCR also distinguished salmonella protozoa from 3 different salmonella serotypes and 13 non-targeted species. This data shows that the multiplexed PCR system had sensitivity and specificity. 4 questions. Thank you for this interesting question. Let me answer. I have perspectively in fire research. This work is also what we plan to carry out recently. Vaccines based on inactivated bacteria can potentially prevent salmonella losses. However, attenuated liver vaccine generated by deletion of virus identified salmonella virus genes have higher immunogenicity and greater efficiency than killed bacteria. The market stream as an attenuated salmonella protozoa vaccine has the potential of being a safe immunogenic vaccine against salmonella infection with greater clinical value. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Люй Чжике. Евгения Владимировна, are you certified?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
Дякуємо. А за регламентом роботи спеціалізованої вченої ради переходимо до дискусії дисертаційної роботи Люй Чжике. До дискусії роботи нагадую, що в дискусії має право взяти участь ці присутні вченої ради. Тому прошу, хто бажає висловитись з приводу даної роботи. According to the results of work of the specialized academic council, the process of the discussion of the thesis of Люй Чжике, I'm advised that all present members of the academic council have the right to take part in the discussion. Therefore, I ask who wanted to speak out about this work. First reviewer, please, Hanna Fortina, speech of the reviewer.
Okay, thank you so much for this chance to say something about this work. And first of all, I would like to say about Jacques Lou. because I saw him in Ukraine and we worked together just like 1 year. Yes, because he spent 1 year in Ukraine. And I would like to say that I have known him like a very positive guy, and he's very, very polite and hardworking guy. And it was pleasure to work with him. And the task, our plan was like, he should spend 1 year in Ukraine, he should find the direction of his work, and then he should go to China and provide his researches, and then he should back to Ukraine as well. But because of the war in Ukraine, we did not do it, so he finished his work in China under the caring of Andrei Vladimirovich Berezovsky. They did everything online, unfortunately, but it was good, and everything is good. And I like to say that the topic is, of course, the topic of the dissertation is extremely relevant, because the PhD thesis is devoted to providing development and scientific justification of the prevention and accurate detection of Salmonella pyllorum, and clarifies the mechanism of persistent Salmonella pyllorum infection in chickens. And work carried out, as I mentioned before, according with the main direction of scientific research of the National Natural Science Foundation of China Henan Joint Fund, and Sumy National Agrarian University programs as well. And what I would say, like conclusion, that having familiarized ourselves with the PhD students' work, we can note that the work really has the necessary novelty. And in summary, thesis represents original and high level on scientific work. Practical experiments are well arranged and methods are clearly described, and the results are very well presented, and the explanation are reasonable as well as suitable and focused on the relevant topic, as I told you before. So, dissertation of Jacques Liu, which was submitted for obtaining the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy to the one-time Special Council at the Sumy National Agrarian University, issued in accordance with the order of the Minister of Education and Science of Ukraine on approval of requirements for dissertation, and the Minister of Education and Science of Ukraine, dated May 31, with changes and addition in terms of the relevant scientific novelty and practical significance of the obtained results, is the fully meets the requirements stipulated. The procedure for awarding the degree of Doctor of Philosophy approved by the resolution of the Cabinet of Ministry of Ukraine, and its author deserves the award of the educational and scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field of knowledge, 21 veterinary medicine, in specialty 211 veterinary medicine. So thank you for your attention and good luck to our PhD. Я все вже.
Thank you. У нас трохи проблеми зі зв'язком. Next, you are please, Римма Валентиновна, to speech.
Thank you. Jhique Liu dissertation on the topic conclusion of multiplex PCR assay based on the CITA2 gene to identify Salmonella pyllorum and its effector CTA in pathogenesis and immunity, with it present for obtaining a Doctor of Philosophy is the final independent study containing scientifically based result in the field of veterinary medicine. In terms of content and formal features, the dissertation meets the requirements for the design of dissertation and the procedure for advancing the degree of Doctor of Philosophy approved by the resolution on the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine dated 12 January 2022, number 44, which cancelled the provision of the Ministry of Education and Culture of Ukraine dated January 12, 2017, number 40, and Ministry of Education and Culture of Ukraine dated May 31st, 2019, number 749, with changes and additions. Thank you.
Thank you, Irma Valentinovna. Next, first opponent, Валерій Олександрович, opponent, please to speech. Валерій Олександрович, ми вас не чуємо, будь ласка, вимкніть мікрофон.
Вибачте, excuse me. Dissertation Jacques Louis, construction of multiplex PCI SI based of the CT2 gen to identity Salmonella pylori and effector STE in pathogenicity and immunity, which was submitted for obtain the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy on to the one-time Special Council on at the Sumy National Agrarian University issue in accordance with the order of the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine, one approved of requirements for dissertation and addition. In terms of relevance, scientific novelty and practical significance of the obtained result, it fully meets the requirements stipulated the procedure for award the degree of Doctor of Philosophy approved by the resolution of the Cabinet Ministry for Ukraine, and its author deserves the award of the education and scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field of knowledge 21 veterinary medicine in the specialty 211 veterinary medicine. Thank you.
Thank you, Валерій Олександрович. Please, second opponent, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Евгения Владимировна, please to speech.
Thank you. The dissertation work of Люй Чжике was interesting for me as a scientific work, and I evaluate positively Jacques Liu's PhD thesis. So, Jacques Liu's PhD thesis on the topic of construction of multiplex PCR assay based on the site E2 gen to identify Salmonella pylori and its effectors TE in pathogenicity and immunity was performed as appropriate level, is completed scientific research work according to relevance, scientific novelty, theoretical and practical significance of the obtained result. It meets the requirements for design of thesis, and the obtained result, it meets of requirements for design thesis and the procedure for awarding the degree of Doctor of Philosophy approved by resolution of Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine. With change and its after Люй Чжике deserves to be awarded the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field of knowledge 21 veterinary medicine in the specialty 211 veterinary medicine. Thank you.
Thank you, Елена Владимировна. I initiate in short of the department where the dissertation was carried out. Tatiana Fortuna to speak, please.
Hi. The dissertation in Люй Чжике is devoted to the correct topic. diagnostics and preference of salmonella and salmonella animals and salmonella poultry. The work was performed using modern methods. Люй Чжике prepared 14 scientific articles, spoke at many conferences. Люй Чжике had a Doctor of Philosophy degree in specialty 211 veterinary medicine as a professional specialist. Thank you.
Thank you, Tatiana Fotina. Next, please, our now conference. Чи бажає ще хтось виступити? Does someone else want to speak? Якщо немає заперечення, пропоную закінчити обговорення. If there are no objections, I suggest ending the discussion. Нами попередньо був розроблений проект рішення спеціалізованої вченої ради, дозвольте його зачитати. Спеціалізована вчена рада Сумського національного аграрного університету, Міністерства освіти і науки України прийняла рішення про присудження ступеня доктора філософії з галузі знань 21 ветеринарна медицина на підставі прилюдного захисту дисертації. Construction of the multiplex essay based on the STE2 gene to identify Salmonella pulmorum and its effect in pathogenicity and immunity. Конструкція мультиплексного ПВР-тесту на основі ген STE2 для ідентифікації Salmonella pulmorum та ефектора патогенності та імунітету за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина. 29 вересня 2023 року, Люй Чжике, народження 1989 року, громадянин Китайської Народної Республіки, освіта вища, закінчив 2018 року університет Захист, Китайська Народна Республіка за спеціальністю ветеринарної медицини. Аспірантуру закінчив у 2023 році Сумський національний аграрний університет, Міністерства освіти і науки України. Дисертацію виконана у Сумському національному аграрному університеті, Міністерства освіти і науки України, місто Суми. Науковий керівник Березовський Андрій Володимирович, доктор ветеринарних наук, професор кафедри експертизи, мікробіології, зоогієни та безпеки і якості продуктів тваринництва Сумського національного аграрного університету. Здобувач має 14 фахових видань за темою дисертації, з них 3 статті у фахових виданнях України, 2 статті в журналах, які входять до міжнародних науково-метричних баз, фокус веб-сайт і 9 інших публікацій. Чи є зауваження щодо проекту рішення спеціалізованої вченої ради? До рішення також будуть внесені всі зауваження рецензентів, опонентів та головуючого, також результати відкритого голосування. Переходимо до процедури відкритого голосування щодо присудження ступеня доктора філософії Люй Чжике. Прошу кожного проговорити на камеру свій висновок. Я голосую за присудження ступеня доктора філософії Люй Чжике. Будь ласка, члени спецради, прошу, Ганна Анатоліївна.
Так, я голосую за присудження Люй Чжике ступеня доктора філософії. Дякую.
Дякую. Ріма Валентиновна, будь ласка.
Я голосую за присудження доктора філософії здобувачу Люй Чжике.
Дякуємо. Ушкалов Валерій Олександрович.
Дякую. Я голосую за присудження ступеня доктора філософії Жаку Люке.
Дякуємо. Євгенія Ващик, будь ласка.
Дякую. Я голосую за присудження наукового ступеня доктора філософії Люй Чжике.
Дякую. Одноголосно. Шановні колеги, оголошуємо результати голосування за присудження Люй Чжике ступеня доктора філософії галузі знань 21 ветеринарна медицина за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина. За 5 членів ради, проти немає, відійсних немає. На підставі результатів відкритого голосування спеціалізована вчена рада присуджує Люй Чжике ступінь доктора філософії з галузі знань 21 ветеринарна медицина, спеціальності 211 ветеринарна медицина. Чи є зауваження щодо рішення спеціалізованої вченої ради?
Немає.
Немає.
Дозвольте привітати Люй Чжике та його керівника з успішним захистом дисертації. Based on the results of the open voting, the Specialist Academic Council of the Sumy National Agrarian University awarded Luy Chжике the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field of knowledge 21 veterinary medicine is especially 211 veterinary medicine. Along to congratulate Luy Chžike in the Hyo supervisor is the successful defense of the thesis, as well as to thank the esteemed members of the council for the active participation and discussion. Слово надається аспіранту Люй Чжике. Please, Люй Чжике, speech on the postgraduate.
Okay. Okay, first, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to my supervisor, Professor Tatiana Fortuna, for this continuous support of my PhD study and related research for his patience, motivation, and immense knowledge. Also thanks to all the teachers who participated in the review and defense of my paper. They gave me an opportunity to review my learning achievements over the past few years. Follow me to clarify my further development direction. This is help is an invaluable asset to me. I will devote my efforts in my further work and study, hoping to achieve more results in regard for them and society. Thank you for agreeing and wish them a happy and healthy life. If you have the opportunity, welcome everyone to China. Please remember to contact me when if possible. We can visit Beijing and Shanghai together. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Люй Чжике.
Thank you.
Я не помню, как это делается.
Да.